Hello and welcome along to round 1 of ETGT League Season 4 German Touring Cars. We are at the Nürburgring GP Circuit, the home race of the 3 manufacturers that are going to be participating in this season's championship. But before we get to that, let's have a look at the calendar. Like we said, we're here at the Nürburgring for round 1. There'll be 9 races this season. We'll be starting in Europe and we're doing some flyaway races, and then we'll finish up in America at Watkins Glen for round 9. But before we get there, there's a lot of racing to go. So yes, this season, German touring cars. We have 3 German manufacturers on the grid: BMW, Mercedes and Porsche. There will only be 1 race per round this season, unlike last season and season 2 where there was 2 races per round. There was only 1 30-minute race, and the drivers will have to use soft and medium tyres. So they'll be pitting at least once, and the points format, it hasn't changed from last season, with 10 points to the winner, 9 points for second, and so on. But we have the manufacturers and the teams championship coming back, so there's a lot to play for this season. Everyone's excited, all the teams and drivers are anxious to get going. Let's head down to the grid. We're ready for the grid walk for round 1 of ETGT League Season 4, the German Touring Cars Championship. So let's head down to the grid. We'll see how the drivers are lined up after qualifying.
We are down here on the grid at the Nürburgring GP Circuit. It's almost time for round 1 of ETGT League Season 4. The German Touring Cars are here on the grid, and in pole position, it's Nick Pfaff. Made his debut last season in Season 3, and he's returning once again, car number 7, and also driving for Pfaff Motorsports. See what he can do. He's in the best position on the grid. It's a long race though, 30-minute race. He's got to fend off this guy, Peter Dongo, for Team 53. He'll be starting second. He's on the grid representing Mercedes as well, Mercedes AMG GT3. The new sponsor, Dora Markaba, coming on board for Team 53. See what Peter Dongo can do there. He's starting ahead of Chris Padajak, driving for Sitco Motorsports, his own team, car number 90. That's a striking livery there with the green, orange and the indigo colours. See what Chris Padajak can do this season. He didn't have the best season last time out. Trailed off towards the end of the season. Solomon Fakru was actually only 1 point behind him at the end. So we'll see what Chris Padajak can do. And Solomon Fakru right here for Fezza Racing Team, car 21. Driving the Porsche, first Porsche on the grid, the RSR 2017 model. The Marlboro Racing livery looking good here. See what Fezza can do this season. He lines up ahead of Peter Cameron, making his ETGT League debut, car number 60 for TCR Racing. Jumping the BMW this season, BMW 2016 GT3 model, the M6. So we'll see what Camcorp can do from 5th on the grid. And lining up in last position, 6th on the grid, Trent Fuller, car number 5. He's back in Team 53 with Peter Dongo. He's representing the Dora Markaba livery as well. So 6 cars on the grid for the start of the German Touring Cars Series, the home race here, Nürburgring. Let's have the drivers line up on the grid. We'll take you back up to the commentary box. We can catch all the action round 1. Season 4 of ETGT League is about to begin. The lights are counting down and the drivers are off. Ooh, Fezza doesn't really get off the line there. Oh, Chris Padajak, he gets a good start though. He gets in between Peter Dongo and Nick Pfaff as they head down to the first turn. Oh, Chris Padajak's in first. Oh, it's very tight there though. Oh, he gets sandwiched again by the Mercedes. Well, Trent Fuller's up to 4th place. Nick Pfaff back up to first. Peter Dongo side by side with Chris Padajak. Second and third. Goes a bit wide there. Fezza's a bit wide too. Nick Pfaff, first position. Oh, Peter Dongo and Chris Padajak still side by side. They head through the first part of the lap. Chris Padajak in second. Peter Dongo in third. Team 53 in third and fourth. Trent Fuller in 4th place. Fezza 5th position. And Peter Cameron in 6th place. So all 3 manufacturers represented here so far in the German Touring Car Series. The BMW there, Peter Cameron in last position, behind Porsche of Fezza, and they're all behind Mercedes cars. Team 53 driving Mercedes, Sicko Motorsports driving Mercedes, and Nick Pfaff, your leader, also in a Mercedes. We're here at the home circuit of all these cars, Nürburgring. Half an hour race, timed race, and the drivers will have to pit, change their tyres, and do fuel. The fuel won't last all race. We plan to go flat out. So we'll check on the cars in a second what tyres they're running, but you must run the mediums and the softs this race. So the pack coming to finish the first lap. It's a small grid here at the moment for the German Touring Car Series. But Nick Pfaff is stamping his authority as he finishes lap 1. We got Chris Padajak, lap 2. Ahead of Peter Dongo, 3rd position. Trent Fuller, 4th place. Still ahead of Fezza. Ooh. So the cars are pretty tight here at the moment. I think they're all trying to take it easy. They know it's a long race. Oh, and Fezza's going for the move. Oh, he gets the move done. Shots Trent a little bit wide there, but Fezza now up to 4th position. Oh, it's Peter Cameron. Is he going to get the move done? Oh, looks like they're close there. It's Peter Cameron and Trent Fuller now side by side. BMW versus Mercedes as we head down. Oh, is he going to outbrake him? Yes. Go side by side into the turn. Peter Cameron now up to 5th position. Nourished on the side of the window there. So Trent Fuller finds himself where he qualified in 6th position. Fezza up to 4th place. So he's going to try to chase down Peter Dongo, who in turn is chasing down Chris Padajak as they head through the Schumacher S. Not much happening with these 3 at the front here. And Nick Pfaff's got a little bit of a gap to Chris Padajak. It's a couple of seconds, it looks like. Sicko Motorsport colours. The Sicko green coming back this season after running the yellow Porsche in season 3. Livery looking good there. Hungry Jackson Canna-Trek sponsors. Sicko Motorsport representing himself after finding himself with Richard Collin in season 2 as well. It's been a long time since Sicko Motorsport was actually on the grid by themselves. We'll have to look at that all the way back in season 1, and all they are, Peter Cameron spinning out there. We can see him in the background. Oh, getting loose on the grass there, and finds himself now at the back of the grid. Flags waving for the drivers. We'll brush that off and try and catch down Trent Fuller, who's got a penalty. Must have gone wide somewhere. So Trent Fuller in 5th place now. Chasing down Fezza. So Nick Pfaff returns to ETGT League after making his debut in season 3 at the grey Porsche. Some small green thick writing on it. Now he's back in the Mercedes, white Mercedes livery, Pfaff Motorsports. Bridgestone AMG Gran Turismo 7 on the side there. right on the border with Nick Pfaff as he tackles the Schumacher S. So Chris Paddock got the fastest lap, but this guy in the lead, he's keeping it calm, keeping it cool and smooth through the Schumacher S. Yes, Nick Pfaff, very smooth there on the wheel. See him getting on the throttle. Just a little bit testing where he can go. We'll see where he brakes as we head into the last chicane. Right on the 100 metre board, smooth in and smooth out. Nick Pfaff. Will he get a fastest lap? Let's have a look. Right on the board of him is he completes lap 3. And we're over 5 minutes into the race already. And there we go. He's not quite out the fastest lap. That still belongs to Chris Paddock, who's right there. Ahead of Peter Dongo. So let's have a look now, quickly, at the drivers and the tyres that they're on. And Chris Paddock there on the softs, and you can see he's already chewed through the front half. Front left looking worse for wear there. Nick Pfaff also on the softs. His tyres are in better condition. Rear kicking out a little bit there as he's going through the turn. And the fuel's just a quarter down. I think everyone's going to be alright with the fuel. With a high refuel rate this race as well. It's the tyres that you want to try to look after. I think Chris Paddock is really chewing through them just to try catch up to TCR Camcorp. That green looking beautiful in the sun. Sicko Motorsports. And Peter Dongo, his tyres are the best out of the top 3. Now he's not that far behind Chris Paddock. He's gone a little bit wide there, but even so, yeah, his tyres are in very good condition, Peter Dongo. See what he can do, if he can perhaps push a little bit as we head closer to the pit stops, which we're anticipating will be around halfway through the race, maybe 12 minutes in, depending on the tyres that you're on. So Fezza is also on the softs. He's at about the same condition as Chris. Chris is still a little bit worse actually. Fezza on his best lap, he's pushing, he's half a second up. And his time. And Trent Fuller, he's got some damage on the front there. Must have copped it when he had a bit of an accident with TCR Camcorp, I think. So his tyres are, he's chewing through his tyres, and we can see, the damage on the rear there of the BMW. So maybe he did get hit and tapped by Trent when I think Camcorp got wide and just spun out. Maybe Trent hit him when Camcorp got wide. So he's got some rear damage. He'll wait until he pits and change his tyres to fix that, it looks like. And as we're starting lap 5. That's his best lap so far. It's 3 seconds off. Looks like he's getting into a bit of a groove now. And he's away from any trouble. So that's the situations. Everyone's on the softs. Chris Paddock's tyres are really going there. And we'll see when they all pit. So Peter Dongo's in his really good position here. I think there'll be a good fight between these two. So we'll check in on the car status later on in the race. Chris Paddock, there is a bit of a gap there now between Nick Pfaff and Chris. Nick Pfaff looking after the tyres. He's got the fastest lap now. He's definitely in charge of this race. Got the fastest lap on the last lap. Makes his way through the sector 3 of the course. Beautiful line there. Chris still in a good position. Looking for a podium finish for Sicko Motorsports. And with Peter Dongo just behind him, he certainly can't relax. And neither can Peter Dongo, to be fair, because Fezza is just there. Fezza also on the softs. These guys are all on the same tyres, so it's about who could drive the best, who can keep it on the track. Fezza showing that the Porsche, and Peter Dongo's in the pits. So we have Peter Dongo, he's first to bite. Team 53 called him in. So he's going to put the medium tyres on. He's got 63% of his fuel left. Team 53 waiting for their driver. The blue outfits. There we go. Peter Dongo's pitting. Raise the car up, change the tyres. Tyres are on, fuel's in. Very fast refuel rate for these cars this season, and he's out. So the medium tyres now, so that'll take him to the end of the race. He lasted 1/3 of the race. We're over 10 minutes now into the race. Lasted 1/3 of the race on these tyres, and he finds himself behind his teammate, Trent Fuller. Most importantly, he's just ahead of Cam Corp. So that's one less overtake that Peter Dongo has to do. We'll see if he can catch up to Chris on a fresh set of tyres. Even though they are the mediums, and Cam Corp slid again. We heard some screeching on the camera, and he's gone off. His tyres screeching out for help. He has got some damage as well though. And look at Peter Dongo, he's now right near his teammate Trent Fuller. I'm sure that's going to be an easy overtake though. Some team orders should be coming into effect, but the team owner comes on the team, the teammate, you could say, as they head through the Schumacher S. Good looking livery there for Dorba Kaba, coming on as a major sponsor for Team 53 this season. So with manufacturers, teams and drivers championships on the line, Team 53 are looking to take the team's championship, and there we go, Sitco Motorsports, as Peter Dongo overtakes his teammate. Chris Padajak comes into the pits for his stop. He's a lap later than Peter Dongo. He's got less fuel in the car, so he'll have to put a bit more fuel in. He might stay in the pits a little bit longer. We'll see what happens. It doesn't really matter with the fuel. So he's pitting, no penalties or damage to worry about. They're going to chuck the medium tyres on that Mercedes at Sitco Motorsports and get him out there. Now, is he going to get ahead of Peter Dongo though? I think he's alright. So Peter Dongo's just crossed the line. He's coming down. We'll see where he ends up. See, Sitco Motorsport's nowhere to be seen. There we go. So Sitco Motorsport, Chris Padajak ahead as Trent Fuller pits. So there we go. The undercut not really working there for Team 53. As we watch Trent Fuller take his stop. We've got to repair some damage in the car as well. You can see the damage on the front there, all the scrapes. And there we go. Trent Fuller's out. And his tyres are changed. He's good to go. So Trent Fuller will take that to the end of the race. He's got a fresh car. We'll see if he can stay ahead of Camcorp. He should have no problems though. TCR Camcorp. Pitting soon, surely, for the damage and the tyres. Look, Fezza up in second place. Going along with the Porsche. See if he pits this lap. There's a nice shot there. The Marlboro Porsche going through this turn. And there we go, your leader is in the pits. Faf Motorsports in the pits. The all black mechanics waiting for their driver. He had enough of a gap in front of Chris Padajak. He'll be all good here. The Fezza's staying out. Fezza is now your leader. As we watch the Mercedes. So their garage is just ahead of Team 53. We saw the Team 53 guys there. There we go. Faf coming out in second place. Fezza, there is your leader. He's on the softs. He's staying out as long as he can. He doesn't seem to be having any problems though. Is Fezza. As we head up to the halfway mark of the race, we are 14 laps in. Sorry, 14 minutes in. We're on lap 8. There's a half an hour race. Still close between these guys though. Chris Padajak and Peter Dongo. I think Peter Dongo managed to catch up a little bit during the in lap because of his tyres being a bit warmer. Chris Padgett getting used to the mediums, but the gap is still there. 3rd and 4th for those guys at the moment. And with the gap still with Faf, that's your gap right there actually. So Nick Faf, effectively your leader, certainly just behind Fezza. And yeah, there you go. Taking it smooth there through the Schumacher S's. There we go, this is Sade ahead of Peter Dongo. So Kamkov still hasn't pitted yet. Looks like he's going to go. Well, he's more than halfway through the race. Let's just check on his tyres actually. His tyres are actually still really good. So I guess he's looking after his tyres because he's not going overly fast. Still carrying the damage. We see Trent Fuller there in last place, but yeah, his tyres are still fresh. He'll be alright. He should be ahead of Kamkov when he takes his pit. Ooh, looks like Trent was going to go wide there. No, he's okay. And Fezza in the pits. Fezza Racing Team in the pits. Your leader is now in the pits. Oh, his tyres completely gone. Look at that. Front left. There's nothing left. So we can see the condition of his tyres now. We'll see if we can get someone down into the pit lane to have a look at his tyres. There's got to be nothing left. Hanging on as much as he can. Still got a lot of fuel in the car though. There we go, car's filled up, softs are on, he's out, keeping it safe, and out he goes back in 4th place. Didn't have to change any damage. There we go, the Marlboro Fezza Racing Team out there, and out wide as he makes it out of the pits. And look at that, still hasn't pitted, has Peter Cameron. Still on the softs though, so I guess, you know, doesn't really have to pit yet, does he? Is he trying to get a gap from Trent? I don't think there's enough of a gap for him to pit and get ahead of the Team 53 driver. And Trent with no damage is going to have a faster car. So he should be able to catch up to TCR and pass him when TCR eventually pits. Ooh, if you can see some of the damage there still on the front of that car. No damage on the rear, or at least no visible damage we can see on that car. The BMW. It's right on board with it. See if we can hear the turbo. It's the only turbo car on the grid. There we go. Oh, that sounds great. Going through the gears, through the Schumacher S. So we can see the turbo spool as well, just under the 1 on the gauge. The twin turbo V8. There's the flubber. Now will he pit this lap? Will TCR pit this lap? TCR Kamkov. Peter Cameron. The only BMW on the grid. You can see how low the steering wheel is compared to the dash. The M6. Here at the Nürburgring. And he's going past the pit lane. He doesn't want to pit yet. There we go. So he's going to start lap 10 with the damage. Maybe it's not affecting him too much. He's doing 2-minute 3s. He's done a 2-minute 2 there. He heads down the main straight. And the yellow shell, well, it looks like a shell livery on the BMW. Good looking car is number 60. So Trent Fuller. Alright. So he's done a 2:03 as well. So he's basically matching the time of Kamkov. We'll see what he's done this lap. Kamkov did a 2:02. He's done a 2:03, so he's a little bit slower. So maybe Kamkov does have enough of a gap. We'll see what happens. We're almost 20 minutes into the race, 2/3 into the race. His tyres, they're good for another few laps, I'd say. These Kamkovs. And Fezza and the Porsche. His tyres are fine, and everyone else's tyres are going to be fine as well. Basically fresh, keeping it to the end of the race. Ooh, Peter Dongo really riding the curbs there as he's chasing down the sicko motorsport, Chris Padgett. Oh, nice turn in there. Nick Pfaff all by himself. Doesn't really have to do much. Just has to keep it on the track, stay out of trouble. As long as you don't get any damage. If the damage doesn't go away, here. You know, if you get hit, you have to carry it with you until you pit. We'll see what sort of lap time Nick Pfaff does. It's actually not that much slower on the mediums. Look at that. It's in the 157. He's only like just about half a second off his time in the softs. So Nick Pfaff in first place for Pfaff Motorsports. So 2/3 of the race through. He's got a pretty big gap ahead of Sicko Motorsports' Chris Padajak. It's about at least 10 seconds, I'd say. Car number 90 in second place, and there we go. Camcorp has pitted. Camcorp's pitting 2/3 into the race. His mechanics are coming out. There's nice looking rims there. The yellow rims waiting for him. They've got to be medium tyres, surely. The medium Bridgestones going to be on the BMW. They'll fix the damage as well. Refuel the car, fix the damage, and away he goes. It looks like Trent Fuller's just got ahead of him though. Oh, what's it going to look like? Oh, Trent Fuller. It's right on board with him. It's right on board with the Team 53 car. So he's finding himself just behind Camcorp. That was close. Camcorp kept the gap. He managed the gap. Oh, and Trent's got wide. He's frustrated. Wants to try and get that position, keep up with him. I mean, he's got warm tyres. He can still keep up with him. Oh, he's trying his best as we go through the first sector, the hardest part of the lap. It's not very smooth and flowing like this corner, for instance. Look, we can see the gap there already. As Trent threads his car through, trying to chase down Camcorp, who now has a repaired car with fresh tyres. He can try and keep 5th position ahead of the Team 53 car. So it's a close battle there for 5th and 6th. These guys will score points. It goes from 1st to 10th this season once again, with 10 points going to the finisher, the winner, and 1 point going to 10th. Camcorp making his way through the Schumacher S. There's a beautiful line there. Now Fezza's having a pretty lonely race here at the moment. So kind of in between Peter Dongo and Chris Padajak up ahead, who are still pretty tight. And behind him with Peter Camcorp and Trent Fuller. He's kind of by himself. I mean, he's almost got a pit stop difference between him and the guys behind. He could pit if he has to. If he got damage, so he's taking it very easy there through the sector. So the Porsche is the only non-V8 car in the lineup of the 3 cars available this season, of the German touring cars. The Flat 6 doing its job in the Porsche. The Porsche, however, is mid-engined, which is an advantage in the corners if you listen to the drivers, but at the moment, Fezza, he's doing a good job in the car. So the mid-engined Porsche, the Mercedes and the Porsche are front-engined, and the Mercedes naturally aspirated V8 compared to the turbo of the BMW, and this car naturally aspirated as well. It's right on board with the Porsche. Fezza Solomon in 4th place. Looks like he's wearing Michael Schumacher's gear there. In the Marlboro colours. So he's on a good lap. He's making these mediums work. You can notice the difference in the steering wheel position there. Porsche, with the steering wheel being higher than the BMW. Maybe more in your line of sight, the eye. As Fezza goes to start lap 13, there's 5.5 minutes left in this race. So I think things are going to get down to the wire between the 2 battles on track, which are... Oh, that Porsche sounding great. So Peter Dongo trying to chase down Chris Padajak. There's a bit of a gap there though. Yeah, it looks like Peter Dongo It's a few seconds behind, just can't quite keep up the pace. It was pretty good at the first part of the lap, first part of the race. Keeping Sicko Motorsports honest. But no, Chris Padgett getting the job done. Right on board with Sicko Motorsports driver. So we're on the Mercedes now. The Mercedes steering wheel looking a little bit lower than the Porsche. Oh, a bit of a... it's really turning the wheel there through the hairpin. Chris Padgett throwing her through the Schumacher S. So he's got a comfortable lead to Peter Dongo, but if he goes off track or gets some damage, that'll be enough to ruin his race. Well, finishing second, that's a good result there for Chris Padgett. One of his best results in a while. But Nick Pfaff is well ahead. He's about to start lap 14. And we've got 4 minutes left in this race. So Chris Padgett goes on to finish towards the end of the lap. And the naturally aspirated Mercedes doing its thing around the track. There's a big crowd here to watch ETGT League as they start season 4. Well, look behind there, all the stands are full. The last time we raced this level of machinery with this speeds and capabilities was back in season 1 with the V8 Challenge, where this car was raced by Harry Ryan, the Mercedes, in the Coca-Cola livery. It's fighting the championship alongside Team 53's Peter Dongo and Aidan Halton. Mercedes showed itself really well there in that V8 Challenge. It seems like it's the car to beat here too. The AMG 2016 model. So season 2 we moved to GT4 cars. And last season again, staying with GT4 sort of machinery with the Porsche. But now we're back to proper race cars. GT3 spec. Here in the Porsche touring, the German touring cars for ETGT League Season 4, and we have Drivers' Championship, Manufacturers' Championship and Teams' Championship. All 3 manufacturers were keen to get on board having their cars here on the grid, and Team 53 putting 2 cars on the grid looking to sort of get a head start on the Teams' Championship or try to get as many points as possible, with all the other teams having 1 entry so far. And Mercedes with 4 cars on the grid, I think they're definitely going to be leading the Manufacturers' Championship as we head into round 2 of the season. Oh, and what's going on here? I see. So Nick Pfaff, a bit of gamesmanship here, fighting the clock. He's trying to make this, I think, his last lap of the race. 2 minutes, just under 2 minutes left, and there's about 2 minutes for a lap. I think this will be Nick Pfaff's last lap. So Chris Padgett, he'll be starting lap 15 as well. There's Peter Dongo in 3rd. Look at that, Fezza. He's just behind though. Really catching up. It's almost catching up to Peter Dongo actually. The race went on for a few laps longer. You'll probably see these two actually pretty close. Oh, and Fezza does sense a bit of a shot here. Sort of up in the ante. So the next race will be at the Red Bull Ring, doing a bit of the European tour. First up, as we do the home race here, easy on the cars and the teams and the drivers. Start from here and then go to the Red Bull Ring. Yeah, look at that. Fezza, he was catching up a little bit to Peter Dongo. Oh, what a shame, there's only 1 more lap to go. He's really concentrating as he tries to chase down the Mercedes Team 53. But you can see, Chris Padgett off in the distance, Peter Dongo just ahead. The Fezza definitely showing that the Porsche is capable in the right hands and it has the speed. Different tracks may favour different cars as we head through the season, but we'll see what happens. In first position, Nick Pfaff, as he comes to finish. We think this is going to be his last lap, and the last lap of the race he'll come to finish. a half-hour race. Round 1, there's only one race per round this season, and here we go. Yes, he is slowing down to cross the line. He'll finish in first position. Faf Motorsports win the first race, ETGT League Season 4 at the Nürburgring. Well done to Nick Faf at Faf Motorsports. And Chris Padajak, he's coming around the final corner. Well done to him and Sicko Motorsports as they cross the line in second position. Great result there for Chris Padajak and Sicko Motorsports. And look at that, Peter Dongo, he's going to cross the line in third. He will get the podium position just ahead of Feza. Solomon Fakri crossing the line in fourth, the Feza Racing Team. Really sensed an opportunity there. He was only just behind Peter Dongo at the end there. But if it was only another lap or two, he probably would have got it done. Wasn't an alternate strategy. Well, what do these tyres look like there? Oh, there you go. Yeah, their tyres were pretty much the same. Feza and Peter Dongo. What could have been? Porsche on the podium. And there we go, Camcorp going around the final bend. He'll cross the line in 5th place after he had damage and a bit of an incident there. He makes up for it and gets 5th place. Ahead of Trent Fuller in the last place. All his tyres are basically completely gone there, look at that. And he'll cross the line in 6th position for Team 53. There we go. Round 1 done.
And there you go. Round 1 is done. And Nick Faf takes the victory for Faf Motorsports ahead of Chris Padajak for Sicko Motorsports. He finishes ahead of Peter Dongo, Team 53. So those three will be celebrating on the podium. I think Mercedes will be pretty happy with that podium as well, locking it out 1, 2 and 3, with Porsche finishing 4th with Solomon doing a good job there representing Porsche and Marlboro. And 5th position on his debut race in the ETGT League, Peter Cameron for BMW. He had a few spins, but he managed to finish ahead of Trent Fuller, who finishes in 6th place for Team 53. So let's have a look at some highlights now from the race.
So let's take a look at Peter Cameron's spin at the end of lap 2. So we've got Trent Fuller just behind him. He's taking the last bend. And it seems okay here, but he turns too much and he tries to catch the car at all. He spins it all. Trent Fuller hits him at all. He does like a 360. And, well, that's it. So that's how he got the damage there. That's how Trent Fuller got the damage as well. See, that was, he's just about to start lap 3 right now. So let's take a look at another incident with Peter Cameron. This is lap 6. Peter Dongo's just pitted. Peter Cameron's just behind him, and yeah, he just spins. Look at that. Just loses the rear of the car. I think his tyres were in decent shape here, but yeah, Peter Cameron just getting used to the BMW, and that wasn't as bad as the other incident though. So he's just back on it, and off he goes. And here's Trent Fuller at the end of the race. We thought he saw him go a bit wide there at the last corner, but we'll see what happened. So he's coming up to the last chicane here. Powers through the bollard. Oh, there you go. It's coming up to the final turn now. And here we go. So he brakes late. Oh, he tries to turn the car and he just gets in the gravel, and yeah, just gets a little bit wide there at the end there. Nothing major, but yeah, Trent Fuller bringing the car home. 6th position.
So let's have a quick look at the points after round 1, and Nick Faf in the lead with 10 points. Now there's no points for fastest laps or pole positions this season, so what you see is what you get. Chris Padajak on 9, Peter Dongo on 8, etc, etc. Harsha Hosso there on 0 points. He's on the entry list for the season, but he couldn't make it for round 1. And taking a look at the teams and manufacturer standings, in Team 53 are in first position on 13 points, ahead of Faf Motorsports on 10 points. And in the manufacturer standings, yeah, Mercedes well ahead of Porsche and BMW. Mercedes well represented on the grid at the moment, and Porsche and BMW will hopefully make up the numbers in the coming rounds. Well, that's it from ETGT League here at the Nürburgring for round 1 of the season. Things have kicked off beautifully for Faf Motorsports and Nick Faf taking out the victory here. Chris Padajak and Peter Dongo had a good battle for 2nd and 3rd. They were pretty close on track for most of the race. And Feza just behind as well in the Porsche, keeping the Mercedes honest on the podium. And you got Peter Cameron making his debut for ETGT League. He'll be happy with that, even though he did spin out a couple of times, and Trent Fuller as well. Well, that wraps things up here at the Nürburgring GP Circuit. We'll be back for round 2 at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. It's going to be the league's first visit to the circuit. It's going to be very exciting. But until then, bye for now.